What's going on, guys? So let's take a look at the live futures market right now. Right now, what we're looking at is the Nasdaq 100. This is going to be /NQ. So currently 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here's what we're looking at. And for the big overall kind of macro picture going into tomorrow. So I understand Friday we had a nice little bounce, a lot of people getting excited, a lot of people saying that this bottom is in, it's time to start loading up. Before we start doing all that and you start, mortgaging the house to try to, load up your long-term portfolio, let me just give my 2 cents here. I think that we're still, two legs into a third leg down in this bear market. So we're about 60-70% done. I still think that there's one more, big flush coming ahead, but that does not mean that we can't take advantage with trades to the long side when they present themselves. So just looking at the overnight future session, obviously we know London and the UK session is going to open up very, very shortly, 3 a.m., which is, normally the start of our pre-market time here in the States. What we would like to see, and we can actually see it moving now, and what I'm looking at is the 1 hour time frame. It would be very, very beneficial for the bulls if the overnight futures market can get us pulled back into this zone. Okay, into this zone here at the 50-day moving average on the 1 hour time frame. That price is going to be 12,089. Now, if we look at kind of where we topped out today, we kind of topped out at that 12,500 area. So, about we went up from being up about 100 points to down those 100 points plus 130. What I would like to continue to see in the overnight future session is something like something like this, right? And then by the time we get to that pre-market, our time here, I'd like to see a little bit of a rounding out process and then a nice push higher. Now, this move higher here is where you're going to want to take part in the bounce. Okay. Now, you have to remember, as traders, we're not looking to predict where the market's going to be in 2 weeks from now, where the market is going to be in a month from now, let alone 6 months from now. Leave that to the investors. Leave that to the fundamental, fundamental analysis, guys. With us, we're looking to trade price action. We're looking to see what's happening the next day. That's all we're concerned about. We want to know what's going to happen tomorrow on Monday, the 16th. That's what we're concerned about. We're not concerned about 2 weeks from now. We're not concerned about the next month. We're trying to see where is that, that move where we can get in and make some money for tomorrow. Best possible scenario is that the futures market does give us that flush, so we can get this flush down in here and then start this reversal back higher. This would just be a dead cat bounce. Understand that we do have room to run to 12,555. That is going to be a heavy resistance zone. However, if we are able to take it over the 12.55 zone, this is where your big trades on the bounce is going to be, in between these two zones, from this 50-day moving average into the 12,500 into the 12,933 zone. This is where you're going to want to take part in this. However, this is also where you're not going to want to think that, hey, you know what, bulls never learn or bears never learn, bulls always win. We're going to continue to go higher, and that's the bottom. Because, when you start to think that, you're going to get this move like this and then stall out and then get your big flush down. So if the market does decide to pull tomorrow, and let's say we do get some sort of washout in the future session and we get this washout in here, and then all of a sudden overnight we do start to climb back up. If you wake up in the morning tomorrow and the futures, from being down 125 currently, are green and we are over this zone somehow, I would stay away from this long trade. This trade will 100% get rejected into some sort of supply and roll over. I'm pretty 90% confident that that would happen if, the futures market decides to speed this process up, and then before pre-market is open already recover and make this move higher. I would stay away from this long trade, and I would actually wait for the rejection spot here or the flush back down through there. Now, what we would like to see is a trickling out process, a slow process. So when you wake up in the morning for pre-market, we are actually hovering down here between 12,000 and let's say, 12,100, somewhere like that. This is where you would want to be for this move back higher. And this is where you're going to want to take part in that bounce. Now, if the market just decides to go ahead and do something like this and then come back down, well, any loss through 12,090 is going to be your short position. This is what you're going to need. And I do think with that, we will come down here and test the 11.7s and the 11.6s, which would also be testing these recent lows. And then obviously anything below that is going to be the start of that third leg down. So just kind of keep that in mind, kind of giving you guys a little bit of a general idea here of what I'm looking at and what we're looking at for tomorrow, guys. Remember, we are only concerned about what's going to happen tomorrow. And then for Tuesday, we'll be looking at the charts tomorrow to see what kind of data we can collect for Tuesday. And when Wednesday rolls around, we'll be looking at Tuesday's data and kind of seeing where that price action is at for the Wednesday session, and so forth and so forth. A lot of times newer traders, they kind of, see one big move and then they think that's it, right? You can't guess, guys. This is still a bear market. One day in the last 4 months worth of down days does not signify a bottom. We can't even start thinking about a bottom until we have some sort of rounding out process. And I think that process is going to be a slow rounding out process coming out of the bottom. But I still think that we also have not touched the bottom yet. So again, just based on technical analysis and what the charts are showing me from the weekly and monthly, kind of bigger pictures here. So, but definitely, I think that we are in for a nice bounce that we'll be able to make some money on. And, definitely we need to be taking part in this play to the long side. But then we also have to understand that we need to start cutting positions here. We need to start cutting positions here to get ready for this to come back down. Guys, if you're interested in trading futures, please check the description box down below. I can help get you guys funded up to $150,000. I work with a great prop firm located here in the United States, based in Chicago. Fantastic firm. I've got a bunch of guys in Discord currently going through training now to get funded. I've got a few guys who are already funded on different level accounts, $50,000, $100,000 accounts. With that being said, take a look, give them, a browse over, kind of see if that would be something you would be interested in. A lot of times people, fail to make money in the market because they're undercapitalized. That's kind of like the main reason. You go into a trade with $1,000 and you bet, or you trade with 700 of that, doing some options play, you lose 50% of that. And now your account's wiped out 30 or 40%, kind of digs yourself into a hole. With that being said, I'll see you guys all in the next video.